Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick or the Notorious Fantasy back in today with another fantasy football video. In today's video, I got the Week 13 tight end start or sit decisions. I go through all the way from Thanksgiving games all the way till Monday night and tell you whether you should start or sit the tight ends in that game. Now, before I get in the video, I'd like to give you guys a word from my friends and my sponsor over at OverlayDFS.com. OverlayDFS.com is my favorite way to play daily fantasy football. Now, Overlay now also offers NBA and also NBA slash NFL games. So if you guys are into the NBA as well, obviously you can come play that. But I'm going to be talking about NFL here today. Now, it is a very simple game, but I'm going to be talking about how it works first. Now, there's 10 max lineups, which obviously gives you more chances to win, but also doesn't let those sharps, those computer-generated programs to dominate in those games, have like 100 plus entries. Now, the $20 progressive game is definitely the game to play for football. It is $22. Obviously, if you're top 10%, you get 9 times your buy-in. But if you hit that beautiful 12-0, that progressive bonus, you get over $8,700, and it's still going to be rising all the way until Sunday. So you guys got to make sure you check that out. Now, the game is different every single week. Never know what the matchups will be posted. It's pretty much you versus the board. You only need to worry about 2 records, yours and the pay-off cut. Now, there's also head-to-head contests that are 10-pick rate, and it's amazingly small, and bad records win all the time. The more people who enter, the bigger the jackpot is going to be. Now, I'm going to show you guys here real quick a strategy that I like to use. Now, when you're playing the game, you need to make 12 picks plus 2 alternate picks to obviously help if someone gets hurt or something, then you can use one of those alternate picks. Now, one of my favorite strategies to do here is select a quarterback and their wide receiver. So I would go with my main man, Philip Rivers here over Daniel Jones, and then scroll down here, scroll a bit down until I find my friend Keenan Allen, and then take him and go with the quarterback and wide receiver stack. That is something I found out. It helps me do better on Overlay DFS. So make sure you check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. Come and play with me. Let's have a great week this week on Overlay DFS.com. And we are back. Make sure to check out OverlayDFS.com, link down below in the description. Let's get right into it. Week 13 tight end start or sit decisions. We start off here with the Thanksgiving games. Bears at Detroit Lions. I'm going to be sitting down all of the Chicago tight ends. Obviously, none of them have gotten it done all year. Trey Burton hurt. There's just a bunch of other guys. You don't want anything to do with the carousel of tight ends in Chicago. On the other side of the ball, we got T.J. Hockenson. Now, T.J. Hockenson has honestly been underperforming ever since he had those couple of games at the beginning of the season where he was playing good. Against the Chicago Bears, a defense that is kind of good with Jeff Driscoll at the helm for the Lions. I do not believe that T.J. Hockenson will be able to perform up to the standards that he could have if given Matt Stafford was in the game. So I'm going to let T.J. Hockenson ride the pine in this game. Next game here, we got the 4 o'clock game on Thanksgiving. The Bills at the Dallas Cowboys. Now I'm sitting down both of the tight ends in this game. Dawson Knox, one time, if you're with me, is going to get the bench in this game. Josh Allen just has not been targeting him all that much. He's just been targeting his main man, his love affair, Mr. John Brown. So I do not really believe in Dawson Knox in this game in Jerry's world in Dallas. Now Jason Witten, on the other hand, I'm sitting him as well. He just really hasn't been doing much the last couple of games. Obviously, he's much more of a safe option. If you don't want to score 0 points, you can go ahead and start Jason Witten, but I highly doubt he's going to be able to score 15 or 20 points that could potentially win you your fantasy football matchup. Next game here, we got the Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. Now I'm going to be starting up Jared Cook in this game. Jared Cook has been on fire like he's in an NBA jam. He's fully engorged in the flame, and he's going to be balling out this week against the New Orleans Saints. Or he's on the New Orleans Saints, so he's actually going to be balling out against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Jared Cook has been playing pretty well the last couple of weeks, like I said. And this week he's playing up against a soft Atlanta Falcons defense. And in this game, Jared Cook should easily be able to flourish and ball out of control, just like I believe he will this week at the Atlanta Falcons for the at the end of the Thursday night game. Now, Atlanta, they also have a carousel of tight ends. Obviously, Austin Hooper is hurt, and he's not playing in this game, so you're going to be sitting all the other tight ends down in Atlanta. Now onto the Sunday slate. We got the first game here, the Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, if Eric Ebron was not hurt, he would be a start in this game, but obviously he is on the IR, and Jack Doyle is going to have to emerge as the tight end one on this team. I really do believe that Jack Doyle is going to get so much of an elevated role in this game against the Tennessee Titans that he should be able to flourish and be a top 12 tight end in this game against the Tennessee Titans defense. I'm going to be sitting down Jonnu Smith because Ryan Tannehill just has not been targeting the tight end like he was once he first got that job in Tennessee. Now he just doesn't really do it, so I'm going to be sitting Jonnu Smith on the bench. Next game here, we got the 49ers at the Baltimore Ravens. And if you guys have enjoyed thus far, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Now, I believe that this is going to be a great game over here in Baltimore. And I love both of these tight ends in this matchup. George Kittle coming off the injury last week against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday night. And George Kittle did what George Kittle does, and he balled out of control. He was fucking scoring touchdowns, catching the ball all over the field. We saw him catch a 50-yard bomb ski into the end zone. I think that this week it may be a bit much more of a closer game. I'm not sure if George Kittle will have a huge monster game, but I still love him in this game as a number 1 or 2 tight end in fantasy football for the weekend. Mark Andrews, on the other hand, has had 2 down games in a row. He has been balling thus far this season, so there's no reason to switch up on him, to stop believing on him. I think in this game against the San Francisco 49ers, a game that many believe the San Francisco 49ers will be able to win, hint, 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 I think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to skull fuck the 49ers. I think that Mark Andrews gets his hand in this game. Last week against the Rams, they were just run. They just kept running the ball because they had no need to throw the ball because they were up by so much. I think in this game, it's a much closer type of affair where Mark Andrews finds that beautiful end zone for your fantasy football team. Next game here, we got the New York Football Jets at the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I like Ryan Griffin in this game. Obviously, Ryan Griffin did not have a humongous game last week like I thought he might have against the Oakland Raiders, but he still played good enough to warrant 10 or near 10 PPR points. So I think this week against the Bengals, he should be able to ball out yet again. He's been pretty consistent the last 5 games, so I like Ryan Griffin this game against the Cincinnati Bengals as a top 10 tight end. I'm going to be sitting down Tyler Eifert in this game. Even with Andy Dalton coming back, it seems like they have too many mouths to feed over there in Cincinnati for Tyler Eifert to perform. If he does not find the end zone, you're going to be quite pissed off, and I honestly don't believe he will this week against the New York Football Jets. Next game here, we got the Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to be sitting down both tight ends in this game. David Njoku, he's got a bunch of question marks next to his name because I'm not necessarily sure he's going to even go ahead and play. They have another carousel of tight ends over there in Cleveland, so if it's one of those other guys, you're not going to be starting them either. Obviously, Vance McDonald could have a bigger game this week against the Cleveland Browns, but we have not seen Duck Hodges and Vance McDonald be that great connection thus far this season, so I'm not sure if Vance McDonald is going to be able to perform against a tougher Browns defense. Next game here, we got the Eagles at the Miami Dolphins. In this game, I like all 3 tight ends. Now, Zach Ertz obviously would be the premier look in this game. He's actually been playing quite well against these soft matchups that the Philadelphia Eagles have been facing the last couple of weeks, and the Miami Dolphins are the exact same thing. A soft defense. It's going to be soft serve ice cream for Zach Ertz this week in Miami. Now, Dallas Goedert is also definitely worthy of a start in PPR. He gets a lot of volume, so I like him this week against the trash Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm also going to be starting up Michael Gesicki. Mike Gesicki has been playing quite well the last couple of games with Ryan Fitzmagic, and the Fitzmagic looks to still be on. He looks to still be playing quite well, so I like Mike Gesicki this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, much more of a top 15 kind of guy, not really a top 5 or top 10 type of guy. Next game here, we got the Washington Redskins at the Carolina Panthers. Now I'm going to be starting drop my drawers and let her see my third leg, Greg Olsen, in this game against the Washington Redskins. Now, the Redskins defense is fucking putrid. It's terrible. If it would be on, like, one of those shows, you know, the show Dangerous Jobs, it is a dangerous job to be on the Redskins because they're so fucking terrible. Greg Olsen is going to be able to eviscerate and cut his way through this Washington Redskins defense. Now, I'm sitting down all the other Washington tight ends. Jordan Reed probably ain't coming back. Vernon Davis probably ain't coming back. So there's just a carousel of guys over there that you could play, but you ain't playing any of them, and you better believe you want to catch me caught dead with any of those Washington tight ends starting in my fantasy football lineup. Next game here, we got the Packers at the Giants, the boat game as I like to call it, because a few years ago Odell and friends hopped on that boat. They were in Miami. They were thinking, oh, we're going to whoop the Packers' ass. And you know what the Packers did? They smacked them down. They smacked them down, and the Giants haven't been good since then. Hilarious. Living here in New Jersey, seeing all the fans of the Giants being so pissed off in mediocrity. It's hilarious. I'm going to be sitting down Jimmy Graham in this game. Now, if Jimmy Graham does not find the end zone, you're going to be so mad that you started Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham is so boom or bust, it's unreal. He either puts a fat goose egg in your lineup, or he blows his load all over your opponent and scores like 20 fucking points. But in this game against the Giants, even up against a soft defense, I really just do not have enough confidence in Jimmy Graham. Now, Evan Ingram likely not going to play in this game, him or Rhett Ellison, regardless of which tight end it is. I'm not starting either of them this week against the Green Bay Packers. Next game here, we got the Buccaneers at the Jaguars. Famous Jameis versus Big Dick Nick. Now I'm going to be sitting down all the tight ends in this game. O.J. Howard is fucking terrible. Cameron Brate put up a goose egg last week, and the Jacksonville tight ends are a carousel, a spinning thing, where they had a few good tight ends at the beginning of the season, but they're all dead, so you have nothing to do with them. You don't want anything to do with them. O.J. Howard is bad. Cameron Brate, none of these guys are going to be getting enough looks to warrant a start in fantasy football this week in Jacksonville. Next game here, we got the Rams at the Arizona Cardinals, and I like one man and one man only, and his name is Gerald Everett in this game. Now, Gerald Everett has been pretty on or off the last couple of games. Obviously, the LA Rams look like a certified dumpster fucking fire. They look so bad. But at the end of the day, against the Arizona Cardinals, I think that Gerald Everett should be able to ball out, considering the Cardinals allow a lot of points to that tight end position. Now I'm going to be sitting all the other Arizona tight ends, as well as Tyler Higbee, because Gerald Everett's usage has been going up, and Tyler Higbee's usage is hitting the goddamn ground, so I like Gerald Everett in this game. No one really else. Next game here, we got the Oakland Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Now I'm going to be starting up both tight ends in this match. These are two amazing top 5 tight ends in this matchup. Mr. Travis Kelce going up against Darren Waller. Darren Waller has kind of been performing not to his best of ability the last couple of games. Obviously against the New York Jets, that team got absolutely fucking eviscerated. This week they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, a defense that Derek Carr can certainly beat. I like Darren Waller in this game. He gets so many snaps on the team. He gets so much usage on that team. With Tyrell Williams seeming like he is not as reliable, I think Darren Waller gets a huge uptick in this offense this week against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Now I'm also going to be starting out Travis Kelce, Zeus as many call him. I think that Travis Kelce in this game against the Oakland Raiders, a terrible defense, should be able to easily perform. I think Pat Mahomes balls all over them, and Travis Kelce plays a great game. Next game here, we got the Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Now I'm going to be starting up Hunter Henry in this game. Hunter Henry seems like one of the best tight ends in fantasy football every single time he's on the field. Phillip Rivers can't find anyone deep down the field, but he just finds Hunter Henry constantly in that end zone. Even if the team does not look all that well, Hunter Henry will still be able to ball out and be worthy of a start in fantasy football this week against a Denver Broncos defense that could be a lot better. They're really just not all that good. Now on the other side of the ball, we have Mr. Noah Fant. Now Brandon Allen loves targeting Noah Fant, and even with Noah Fant being not the greatest start, obviously he's not like a top 10 guy, he's much more around the 12 to 15 range. You could do a lot worse than Mr. Noah Fant, who gets a lot of usage on this Broncos offense. It's really just Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, and Phillip Lindsay. Next game here, we got the Sunday Night Football matchup between the Patriots at the Houston Texans. Now I'm sitting down both tight ends in this matchup. Darren Fells has really shit the bed too many weeks in a row. Last like 2 games, he really hasn't done shit. So I'm going to sit him down on my bench going up against a tough Patriots defense. You better believe Darren Fells will be able to come back in my rankings if he has some softer matchups. This matchup is a bit too hard. Now, Ben Watson, I don't like him either this week. Honestly, a lot of people have been pretty high on him this season, thinking that Brady just loves the tight end. But with that said, Ben Watson is no Rob Gronkowski, so Ben Watson just isn't getting enough looks on the team, so I don't feel confident in starting him this week against the Houston Texans on Sunday night. Now, onto the Monday Night Football game between the Minnesota Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks. We have Mr. You like that? Kirk Cousins versus Russell Wilson. Now I'm going to be starting up Mr. Kyle Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, because it's going to be December when this game happens, and you better believe Rudolph is going to have his red nose on, and he's going to fucking ride his sleigh all the way into Seattle and dominate. Kyle Rudolph has been balling out of control the last couple of weeks, and I love Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer in this game against the Seattle Seahawks. Now Jacob Hollister, don't mistake him with Jacob Abercrombie, because he's going to go out there this week against the Vikings and play phenomenal. Now, obviously, last week, the Seattle Seahawks honestly played like shit against the Philadelphia Eagles. They won the game, but they played bad. I think that Jacob Hollister has a bounce-back game this week against the Minnesota Vikings and the Purple People Eaters. Thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up enjoying, you ended up chuckling, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Knock one time if you're with me. Have a great rest of your guys' day. Let's have a beautiful Thanksgiving. I love each and every single one of you guys. Make sure you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, my friends.